try that again. Wrong finger. I'm going to try this all again. Great way to start off the year, huh? I guess I should have practiced this. I'm going to try the first two parts again and see if I can sneak my way into the third part. This is like psychologically trying to trick yourself into not screwing up again. I got it right the first time. First part again. Solo section. All I gotta do is play the chords. Repeat it. Okay, that's getting there. 3 minutes a day is not enough for me to get this tune back. I haven't played this in many years. I did try a little of it this morning, but it's not clearly back yet. I have duet. Welcome to 2026. Let's settle down and get with the program. It is Friday the 9th, first weekly update of the new year. And I have duets on the brain for something that happened a little while ago. This is a piece I wrote in 1985, I believe. Oh, no, it was earlier. 1980 or so. 82 probably. Anyway, called Rico's Best Shot. Rico was a parrot that my roommate's girlfriend had that was living with us at the time in our house in the above downtown Los Gatos. And parrot made a lot of noise, and somehow as I was writing this, it reminded me of Rico for a bunch of reasons. I'll save that story for another day. But turned it into a duet, and there's a second guitar part that I have thankfully written down. My friend Rich Olson, who passed away a few years ago, we'd come up with a second part, and we performed a lot of duets, including this one. Wait a minute. So I recently put up a lesson on Snap a Little Owl, and I've had a couple students work on that over the years, maybe only one. But I finally, about 6 months ago, learned the second guitar part to it. Third part has a really cool little melody, something like this. so I have duets on my brain for a few reasons going into this year, and that is Doug Young, my friend Doug, who is always at our camps, and I always try to do a couple duets for the crowd there at camp. And I started thinking I should resurrect some of these. We've done Snap a Little Owl and Bermuda Triangle Exit. That was Snap a Little Owl. That was the second part. And this got me thinking back about some other things that I knew, some duets of John Renbourn's, and which is also in my brain because of the Renbourn workshop and all that other stuff that I talked about a few weeks ago. Again, I really encourage you to check out Mike Walker's site at the Renbourn workshop place. So I guess my audio is not working on this camera, so I guess we'll just be living with audio off the camera today. Let's see if we got any juice here left to interrupt. Okay. Hopefully for the rest of this we'll have better audio than what we had just happening right there. Anyway, the Renbourn workshop, really want to encourage people to check out that big thick hardcover book, although I ordered the spiral bound copy. So okay, never mind. Back to Renbourn. What I was thinking about back to duets. Getting back into some of John's music, it reminded me of another one called Looper's Corner that there was a duet he did with Stefan Grossman that was pretty cool. Let's see if I can remember some of it. Something like that. Then the second guitar part is something like this. Something like that. Diminished chord there. Anyway, I've been toying with the idea of putting up second guitar parts to some of the things and some of these songs that are duets. So if you'd like to work on some duets, let me know. I might put up the second part to Snap a Little Owl if anybody's been working on that, or Rico's Best Shot, or Looper's Corner. Anyhow, some of that stuff. What I mostly want to talk about today is our 3-minute, 30-day challenge. And it might go on more than 30 days. We might just keep this going like all year. So whose New Year's resolution is to pick up the guitar every day for at least 3 minutes? 3. I think I've done it. But clearly I haven't practiced enough the tunes that I tried to play through here yet today. They're not quite ready. I got really sidetracked yesterday, or two or 3 days ago with a song. I'll play it at the end. As to it's under construction, and it's probably going to be my next instrumental lesson. But the idea with the 30-minute or the 3-minute 30-day challenge is to just pick up the guitar for 3 minutes and then log those 3 minutes. And every day you do that, and if each week we'll have a new thread on the forum where you can post your results of how many minutes you got each day, maybe if you want to add what you were working on, and then add up the days. You don't have to add up the minutes. As long as you got 3 minutes in every day, that counts. And every day that you've done that, you'll get entered into a drawing for one of our weekly prizes, which could be things like an autographed Ludwig, no, that's not what he used, a drum set that says Ringo on it. Maybe that, or Earl Scruggs banjo, or oh wait, didn't I make a resolution not to lie anymore this year? Nah, who needs that? But anyhow, we'll have some cool stuff. It might just be, it could be Santa Cruz strings, but the grand prize, at the end, everybody's name will go back in with as many entries as you've played over the 30 days. And if you didn't get started on it, the end is going to be a one-on-one lesson with me, working on going over whatever you want to do. Probably a Zoom lesson, unless you happen to be in Northern California. But the idea is every day that you've got in, and we started on January 5th, back on Monday. So you can backload some of this stuff if you want to fill in your first week. And that'll all be okay. We'll still count that. So, but the idea is every day that you put in at least 3 minutes, and if it turned into 3 hours, that doesn't get you any extra time. That's just cool. But if every day you've got in, you'll get an entry into the weekly drawing, and then the same number of entries that you've had for the little over 4 weeks that we do this for, ending up in the first week of February, will you'll be put into that drawing. So hopefully that all makes sense. And you should have gotten an email about this, because our email department, sends out emails all the time that includes what's going on. And I did not mention it last week on the forum, or on New Year's Eve when I did the forum, the last one, or the last update, because I hadn't really thought about it yet. But I got reminded by one of my students who I was referring to back in that lesson. Okay, I'm rambling. That's my other New Year's resolution. Stay focused. Calm down. But here's a song that just crossed my radar the other day. I woke up. Somehow it popped into my head in the middle of the night in a dream. I was dreaming and something happened, and I thought, God, this is one of the coolest tunes I've ever heard. Spooky, and so I thought I'd never really played this on the guitar till a couple days ago, but first I went and listened to a lot of different versions of it, and the original was done by Noel Harrison, who was Rex Harrison's son. He got paid $500 to go in the studio and sing this song, but it became a monster hit when it was in a movie in 1968. And it was later done in the United States by Dusty Springfield and then Mel Torme. And anyhow, it's been really, really well known. And, as many of you know, or who know, that how my arrangements of things tend to get a little complicated at times. And I decided with this one, don't get too flowery, make it more approachable by people who would want to start working on instrumental things. And speaking of this, we are planning, hopefully by the end of this month, if not early in February, to do a live, a TG Live, where I will be going through my thought process of taking a song and arranging it as a solo. So keep an eye out for that, because you'll just have to register for that. It's free, of course. But let me see, this is still way under construction. I haven't decided on all the fingerings I want to use, but what I decided to do differently than a lot of my arrangements is, this has a really incessant melody. There are 6 or 7 eighth notes in virtually every measure. There are hardly any beats ever taken off. There aren't 8 in too many, but there's 7 in almost every measure. And they're very repetitive. And so I felt like, this could sound cool if I just play the chord on the first beat and don't do anything else, and then play the rest of the melody notes. And that should make it more accessible to a lot of other people. haven't decided quite how I'm going to finger that part yet. So, hopefully if all goes well over the next few days, that will be the next lesson I do. I got to watch a couple movies that was used in the one in 1968, the other in 1999, I think. Not quite sure when the remake came out, but I've been told by a couple different people that the second one is better than the first. Okay, I will leave you hanging there and let you just muse on that, and I'm sure you'll figure out what it was. That is it for our first update in 2026. I will see you next week.